My op-ed today over at HartmannReport.com is titled, "The NRA and GOP Broke America. How many dead children's voices must we hear?" And, I played this yesterday, but I want to play it again, Sean, if you can pull my computer up.
Hello, I'm Joaquin Oliver.
There we go. Let me restart this. Yesterday was the 6th anniversary of the Parkland massacre. And the parents of some of the Parkland kids hired an AI company, fed it old recordings of their children, and then the AI company created this new audio from their children's voices, using their children's voices. And it's pretty powerful stuff. Here it is.
6 years ago, I was a senior at Parkland. Many students and teachers were murdered on Valentine's Day that year by a person using an AR-15, but you don't care. You never did.
This is going to members of Congress.
It's been 6 years and you've done nothing. Not a thing to stop all the shootings that have continued to happen since. The thing is, I died that day in Parkland. My body was destroyed by a weapon of war. I'm back today because my parents used AI to recreate my voice to call you. Other victims like me will be calling too, again and again, to demand action. How many calls will it take for you to care? How many dead voices will you hear before you finally listen? Every day your inaction creates more voices. If you fail to act now, we'll find someone who will.
There you go. So that is Joaquin Oliver, or was. He's been dead for 6 years and 1 day now. And at the same time that was going on, that was being released, we had this another gun massacre, this time in Kansas City at the festival, the rally, the parade, the celebration of the Kansas City Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. And in fact, the state's gun-loving governor, Mike Parson, was apparently seen running scared from the site of the shooting, according to witnesses. We are literally the only country in the world that is experiencing this kind of a gun crisis. Half the guns in civilians' hands in the entire world are here in the United States. So, it shouldn't surprise anybody that the leading cause of death among children in America is bullets. And a week prior to that, and I spoke about this on the program, a few days ago, the Hawaiian Supreme Court rejected the Heller decision and the subsequent decisions, Bruin and the Rifle Club, the New York Rifle Club decision, the one that Clarence Thomas wrote. All of the justices, unanimously, I believe there's 4, all of the justices on the Hawaii Supreme Court, maybe it's 5, all of them unanimously said Heller was BS. Scalia it just literally made stuff up in the Heller decision about the opinions of the founders. It's very clear that the Second Amendment was written into the Bill of Rights to protect the slave patrols in the South and to satisfy Thomas Jefferson's fear that a standing army during time of peace might lead to an insurrection, might lead to a military coup in this country. It happened all around the world, all the way back to ancient Greece. So the justices in the Hawaiian Supreme Court, they said, quote, "The opinion by the 5 Republicans," this is my words, "The opinion by the 5 Republicans on the U.S. Supreme Court," they ruled, quote, "distorts and cherry picks historical evidence, shrinks, alters, and discards historical facts that don't fit, time traveling to 1791 or 1868 to collar how a state regulates lethal weapons is a dangerous way to look at the federal Constitution." And they're absolutely right. I mean, they point out that Scalia and his 4 compatriots, his 4 Republican compatriots in the Supreme Court. By the way, all 3 of these decisions that have happened in 2008, 2010, I think it is, and 2022. No, well, I'm not certain when the middle one was, but all 3 of these decisions were not a single Democratic appointee on the Supreme Court ruled in favor of any of those decisions. They were all 5-4 or 6-3 decisions. All 100% Republicans on the court. We've got a serious Republican problem here in America right now. And you go back to the Heller decision. I went back and reread the Heller decision. And I reread actually the dissents by the dissent by Justice Stevens was the most outspoken. He said the centerpiece of the court's textual argument is its insistence that the words "the people" used in the Second Amendment has the same meaning and protects the same individuals as in the First and Fourth Amendments. Now, in the First Amendment, the right of the people to peaceably assemble, the right of the people to have free speech, is universal. You know, whether you're a criminal, whether you're whatever, it doesn't matter. Fourth Amendment, same thing. Your right to be protected from an unreasonable search. But the Second Amendment, I mean, even Scalia says criminals can't have guns. So the Second Amendment isn't about the people. I mean, you know, it's just like as Justice Stevens pointed out. So, and then he goes on from there, basically taking it apart. But the bottom line is, this is a big deal. And I'm just astonished that the national press didn't go nuts. Now, you know, there's all this sturm and drang, particularly on MSNBC, about guns and gun death and stuff. And here the Hawaiian Supreme Court comes out and does something about it. And our media just goes, you know, what's going on with Trump? So I wanted to flag that for you, and you know, I find it fascinating. I think I sense a sea change. I think that America is beginning to, you know, I think we're over it. I think we're fed up with our children dying, with our individual, you know, adults not being able to go to supermarkets or church or synagogue or just walk down the damn street without being shot. We're over it. We need to overturn these decisions.